everybody. I'm in Hinton, Alberta. We're back in Hinton. That's right. On the last episode, I was at the Alberta Outdoor Adventure Expo, and it was a blast. It was a real blast. Hopefully you've seen some of the videos by now. I got to check out an electric Hummer that somebody uses to tow an RV. I got to drive a 6x6 Army-style RV. That was an RV gone wild. And now we're gonna start heading north. This is the second part of our journey. Now that the Alberta Expo is over, we're just gathering some supplies. My wife's shooting a video for Joe's Rude Awakening. If you haven't seen her YouTube channel, go check it out. She's over at a plant shop. There's this sausage place that we actually went to last year when we were here. And like a moron, I forgot to bring a toque. Now, a toque is a skull cap, a snow cap, a winter hat. I didn't bring one, and it got a little nippy here at the expo, so I'm just gonna keep driving north in the coming week and two. So I need to go in to get myself a toque. I'm gonna go into this place, Maximum Outfitters. I'm gonna go see if they got a toque for me. Just something simple, something to keep my skull warm. We know I got no hair to do it, so let's go check it out. Boom, found one. All right, 15 years this place has been here. Happy to spend some local money. That's the way you do it when you travel, you know? You forget something, go buy it at the local store. Don't go to Walmart, don't go to Costco. You know, I go there all the time, but when you're traveling and you go to these little towns, maybe it costs me an extra, I don't know, 5-10% because I'm going to this place. Do it. That's how you should spend your money. Spend your money locally when you can as you travel. The smaller the town, the more you want to spend the money there. That's how it works. That's how we spread it around. How many plants? 2. Now, let's go to Yukon sausage. I'm gonna get one of these for me. You don't care?
Is it salmon?
It is smoked salmon. I thought we could get brats.
Yeah.
And there's our haul. We got, you know, smoked salmon. We got like 8 sausages. We got 6 burgers. We got a thing of potato salad. Was that? Feta, a big, you know, or a decent thing of feta. And I walked out of there for 60 Canadian dollars, man. Again, small town living, man. You spend the money locally, it pays off. And that stuff was all made there. The sausages are made there. The ground beef is ground there. So we're happy campers.
Hello, RVing with Joe family. We're dumping our tanks. There's the place where we dump it. It's in the back of a Canadian Tire. So you can see that in order to get it, level, and that makes it much easier to dump the tanks. So it kind of gives us extra leverage. We like to be as clean as possible. You can see Joe is wearing gloves. We have the special hose for what we use to clean our black tank and what we use for the... So we've got it hooked up to their, what they call fresh water. It's important that you don't do the non-photo. Then after he does this, I'll watch the meter to make sure we get in a certain amount of gallons. Then Joe deals with the black and the gray tanks. He gets the tube out, he lays it down there, that you'll see in a second. Blacks first. There we go. So good.
Everything else fine?
Everything else is fine.
Oh, well, that's good. You had me a little worried there, honey.
It's so funny.
We're at the Rock Lake Provincial Park here in Alberta. We're here almost alone. We got the Wards and their Ember as well. That's right, we got 2 Embers and nobody else. It's this beautiful bowl. It's an equestrian park, although some of the spots like ours don't have any equestrian features. But lots of equestrian spots here. We're actually above Rock Lake, so this is sort of a plateau, and then you can drive down or hike down to the lake from here. I understand it's beautiful. I understand when you're at the lake looking west, all you see is like Jasper and the Rockies. We're basically in the foothills of the Eastern Rockies. See, we've got the Wards here gathering wood, because in a lot of these Alberta campgrounds, the wood's for free or it's included in the price. We're just making some food. We just got here. It was a fun road, about 32 kilometers of dirt road. It was easy peasy. I mean, we decided to stop about halfway through the dirt road, and my wife opened the door and we saw this. So remember to secure your paper towels when you're going on a trip. We've talked about that before. It was a stupid move, especially being on a dirt road. You're gonna lose them. So luckily we just stuffed them all in a paper bag. Good enough. I'll still use them. But it's about time to eat dinner, and the Wards are collecting a fire. We don't know if we'll do a fire tonight. For the next 3 nights, I will be working. So will Nick Ward. We're actually out here to do work. This is our office for the next couple of days. What's your office look like? Got that Yukon sausage.
How's it going, Lizzie? You like it?
Gotta get defensive.
You like that, Linus? Are you happy? You're happy. Huh?
All right, well, another work day under my belt. We're gonna go for a little drive and check out some of Rock Lake, check out the campsites, check out the lake itself. I wanna give a big shout out to Nick Ward. When I started this trip, my solar was performing badly and my awning wouldn't work. And Nick first rewired my solar so that basically it's no longer parallel and it's now series, which is giving me a lot more voltage and a lot more low light power. I'm gonna try to do a separate video just on some of those solar changes that he's made over the years to some of these Embers. Also, he found there was loose cable for the awning. Thought it might have been related to the theft since they ripped that panel out in the storage area that had all the controllers on it. But I was testing there and I was getting power, but it looks like it was just the ground over here that was not connected. So we were resigned to have no awning for this whole trip, which in the big grand scheme of things is like not a big deal. You don't need your awning to go camping, even on a 30-day road trip like this, but it's certainly nice to have. So now our awning is back. We just had it out for a little bit, letting it dry out after being closed up all the way since that Oregon trip. That was the last time I had it out. Good thing is I cleaned it right before we brought it in for that Oregon trip because we were under some trees. So when I brought it out, there was no stains, there was no gook, no slime, no mold, no mildew. Perfect. So big thanks to Nick Ward. Had to give that guy a big hug. Man, I don't know what the Ember community would do without Nick. One of the things I wanted to do while camping here was try out this new OptiSolex solar bag 400 along with the controller that came with it. Now they sent it to me to test. They didn't tell me how to review it. They just sent it to me to test, and I'll give my honest opinion. And I figured what better place to try it than right here off grid. Now this thing folds up like a big soft briefcase, but when you open it, it's basically a full solar array with 440 watts of total power. It's got a zipper down the middle so you can split it into 2 separate panels. I ended up starting off by running it as one large panel hooked up together in series. I spread it out and let it start picking up some sun and plugged it into one of my all-powers power units. Now, even with some scattered clouds and being up here in the north, we were still seeing numbers spike all the way up to 390 and 400 watts. The most I was able to catch on camera was 390. And that's the most I've personally seen out of a portable setup that I've had. I didn't even hook up the controller yet. I just had it connected directly to my All Powers battery since it already had an MPPT controller built into it. sure enough, it started really pulling it in fast enough to not only keep my Starlink going, but I was able to work a full workday with my computer and monitor and everything plugged in to one of the all powers units while it was getting fed by this great big OptiSolex array. And I never even dropped below like 60 or 50%. I stayed up in the 60s and 70s. Most of the day it was growing in power, not draining. I was able to hook up the Solex brick to my trailer because my trailer's auxiliary second solar input requires that you have a controller attached to that input. So I hooked up the Solex brick, plugged in the OptiSolex array, set up for the full 440 watts as series. Now, even though it was only 440 watt panels added to the 570 watt panels on my roof, I was able to demonstrate twice the charging rate when I had the OptiSolex hooked up. That blew my mind. I know it's newer technology than those solar panels I have on my roof. It basically took my entire RV to now be over 1 kilowatt of power. And I checked all the connectors, they weren't even getting hot. You'll probably see me using this a lot in future videos. And if you want to get one yourself, I'll throw a link in the description. Check it out and let me know if you have any questions. Now let's go check out some of the other campsites and head down to the lake. But this is Rock Lake, the day use area. It's gorgeous here. We just went through all the other campgrounds just to check them out. Lots of campgrounds with Starlink coverage, so not worried about that. This is Windy Point, that's the name of this, or Windy Beach, or Windy Cove, whatever it's called. Windy Cove? If you look over my shoulder there, that's Jasper basically. That's the Jasper National Park. The other end of this lake pretty much touches into the park. So this is the second place I've stayed now, where basically you're staying in a pretty inexpensive provincial campground here in Alberta, but you're in the Eastern Rockies. You're getting like Banff and Jasper level views, but you're getting them, you know, at provincial park prices. Also, they're empty. So this time of year, I mean, it's not like it's winter. It's freaking June, but it's not exactly warm yet. I mean, Albertans call this warm. I am in a sleeveless shirt, but as soon as the winds kick in, you know, it's a little brisk. You don't see anybody swimming at this beach. Linus doesn't like the water. He says, get me away from the water. Linus doesn't like water. Wife prepped some chicken. We're gonna go back and cook that. Go hang out with our friends, Nick Ward, Jeanette Ward. And we're the only two people in the entire campground. So it's like our own private camp. And while the Wards are away tonight, left us out here alone, I thought I'd wait for them to leave for their dinner plans before I turn on the generator, because I know Nick Ward and Jeanette, they work really hard to really go generatorless as much as possible. And when they're out here, they really don't find the same comfort in the purr of a generator that, say, myself or the Gossmans do, some other folks that we like to camp with. But they're gone, so I got it going full blast. It's not even on eco mode. Well, it was time to make a fire. We haven't had a fire on this whole trip, at least not personally. And you never know when the fire bans are gonna kick back in. So while it's sprinkling and while the fire bans are lifted and while the firewood is free, I thought, why don't I light a fire and cook on it tonight? So I'm gonna make a couple of steaks. Johanna, I think she's just tuckered out. I think she's gonna skip dinner tonight. So it's gonna be a manly meal, steak, and an extremely plain salad. I love putting that steak right on there. I don't care if it's overcooked, undercooked, gristles left over, a little rare in the middle. As long as it's cooked on the fire, I'm happy. Yep, and lots of parking. Where are we? We're at the Kakwa. Say that 3 times fast. The Kakwa Provincial, I guess it's not really a park, it's a recreation area. Just a handful of, I think, 8 sites. It's a very small little campground, but it's here and it's easy. And this part of the Forestry Trunk Road, it's a little harder to find pullouts. We had a user-maintained free spot that we were going to go to. Although you need a PLUZ pass, it's a public land use pass. You can use everywhere in Alberta here. But we rolled up and it was just muddy. And I didn't want to deal with mud. So we kept driving, and after a couple of stops, a couple of different small parks like this, we found this one. But we just threw some sausages on. You can tell by how bright it is that it's getting late. It's like after 8 o'clock, and it's time to make dinner. It's getting late for sure, but our clocks are still all screwed up, and we're gonna change time zones again. So Alberta's great, man. Once again, look at that wood. They got free wood. Every campsite we've been to so far in Alberta has had free wood or included in the price. I actually have a little bit more work to do. My work day should have ended today, and it does end at the end of the day, but I decided to get moving a little early, and now I can do a couple of contracts before I turn on my out-of-office assistant for the next 9 days. 9 days of no work. Looking forward to that. Now it's time to eat our Yukon sausage dinner. This time it's gonna be Greek sausage. We actually had this the last time we were here. It was awesome, and it's what made me want to come back. So there's still sun in the trees. Sun hasn't set. And it's what, 9:30? Go see mommy. Lizzie, go see mommy. That's a squeaky one. How'd you find the squeaky one? Random. Oh, that's gonna attract bears. Off. Mr. Linus, he hears that squeak.
Strawberry.
Linus is pooping. Let's get that on film.
fun things we do on trips. Go to Costco.
Load up.
A nice big one.
Oh, this is a nice big one. There you doggies go. Oh yeah. It smells good in here, he says.
Oh, I want to see. Let's check
Oh
it
man, this sounds like a witch's brew. Oh, chicken.
Real.
Chicken feet. That's a big one.
This is why you measure twice and cut once. I bought the wrong grate. This is to put in a little vent on the panels around the fridge. Basically, the fridge compartment gets too warm, so the fridge has to work too hard. So lots of people with embers cut a hole and vent out the refrigerator compartment, because there is no vent for the refrigerator compartment in these 12-volt fridges, but they still get warm. So I bought this. It was 1 inch too wide to fit between the E-tracks, and I forgot to get a receipt. So let's see if they'll let me turn it in. And a big shout out to the home hardware people at Grand Prairie who took me at my word, let me exchange the grate in. Unfortunately, they didn't have the plastic grate, which is always lighter weight. So I got the little more expensive one, paid the difference. As soon as they looked at me, they said, yep, no problem. I love it when people can tell you're telling the truth. So there we go. We got this. Now we can vent the fridge. And my wife's waiting for me at the farmer's market. So it's time to load up on some local goodies. Hopefully we get some like baked goods or something that's, unique before we go out into the middle of nowhere again. And Johanna's gonna check out a plant shop for her channel. And if you haven't seen it before, it's Joe's Root Awakening. I'll put it right here. Make sure you click on there and subscribe. Support the whole family. She just shoots it.
I will judge. Go ahead. No, not that one. This one. Oh, 5 alarm. So sweet. Watch now. No, I got it. It's there.
I had another vendor tell me that if I want the sourdough and the cinnamon buns, I should get in line right now. So I got in line and I scored 2 cinnamon buns with no raisins and some sourdough bread. I didn't know Alberta was into sourdough until I came up here. It's so awesome. As a Bay Area guy, I love it. Well, farmer's market haul. We got fresh onions. We've got homemade sausages. We got homemade sourdough, cinnamon bun. We got ciabatta buns, homemade sourdough ones from another vendor. And that'll be good for sandwiches or barbecued, burgers, depending on what we make. I'm probably gonna get like 1 or 2 more frozen meats since there's all these independent artisan sausage makers and meat sellers. Fresh eggs, free run eggs from a farmer direct. This is why farmers markets are the best. We're really glad we waited around in Grand Prairie. Originally, we were gonna leave town and head to the museum today, but we decided to stick around. I'm really glad we did because we ended up going to the farmer's market, which was a real treat. Lots of small vendors, lots of cash getting spread around to all the independents. That's always fun. And some really good samples, my gosh. Where are we now? We're actually at a casino in Grand Prairie. It is a First Nations casino that allows RVs to park overnight if they register. And as you can see, we're not the only RV here. Yeah, free parking is always nice. Here's an interesting thing. We're right across the street from this apartment that sadly just clearly burned down or burned out. The whole top floor is gone. Real bummer. They got a couple of security guards here monitoring it overnight. I guess that means more security for us, so that's good in that sense. But what a bummer. You can tell the whole complex is emptied out, gutted. No one's living there. We're all charged up, not running the generator. We've been getting so much extra solar power, and that's been fantastic. That's right. Behind me is the sun. And it is 10:30. It's 10:30 in Grand Prairie. I'm getting ready for bed. and the sun is still out. I don't exactly know what to do in that. My clock is just going to stay messed up, I think, until we head south. Again, one of the coolest things about coming up here to Alberta, and something I never really thought about with this particular trip, was how much more RVing I get to do, because we get so many extra hours of daylight during the day. Whenever I'm RVing, it is bright and sunny, no matter what time of day it is. Early in the morning, late at night, it's always sunny. It's a trip. So we have built in 2 days of slack into the schedule. Right now, we're about a half a day into using one of those days of slack, but everything's on track pretty much otherwise. And tomorrow morning, we're gonna go check out a dinosaur museum, check out some more garden centers and nurseries for my wife's channel, Joe's Rude Awakening. And right now, Johanna's working on RV's Gone Wild, because even though we're traveling, RV's Gone Wild continues. We don't get to stop. We're loving this tucked to bed we got. I've had some of the best sleep of any RV trip I've ever had. This bed is wonderful. Every morning I want to sleep in now. The dogs love it. My wife loves it. It's a really nice bed. They really designed a good bed here, so it's really changed our RV experience. I'm going to go try out the bed now again, because I'm going to bed. See you guys in the morning.